Hi, good morning, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Please settle. Hi, how are you all? So, since how long it's been that you've been to India now? 1 month. And how has been your experience in India? Y- You're very fortunate to be here at this time of the year because the weather is very favorable for all of you, right? Those who are from India within your batch, they can tell you that in June and July it's not that good. Uh, so, uh, I am Ankit Saxena. I work with the incubation center at IIT Delhi. How many of you are aware about IIT Delhi? What IIT Delhi is all about? Anyone of you want to talk about what you know about IIT Delhi? Anyone? Yeah, engineering. Anyone else? Yeah. Lot of research and most. Yes. Yep. Anyone else? Yes. Yeah. So anything else you know about IITs which you want to talk about? No? Okay. So what I'll do is we had kept this session from 9 a.m. but I understand that yeah. So what we'll do is I'll take you through the kind of flow we have decided for you. So it's a 40 hours of engagement that you'll have at this campus in IIT Delhi. And the objective of the entire uh, exercise is not for you to learn something from here through the lectures, but rather you should get exposure to the innovation ecosystem within the institute here. A lot of the sessions which we have planned for all of you is with the startup founders who are working from here, and a lot of professors who are working closely with the startups here or in the Delhi NCR region. We want you to build your network within the institute here, get connected to these founders so that in future if you ever want to collaborate you should have someone in Delhi NCR to talk to about your own ventures. I believe I was told that a lot of you have already started your own companies. So how many of you are there who have your own? All of you have? Okay. So what are you mainly building basically? You want to talk about it? Yeah. D2C? What kind of products?
So some of us are doing fashion, food. Then we are personally doing games. A lot of ideas here and there, jewelry, sports,
Okay.
but it's more of consumer goods.
Okay. So what we would want ideally as a success of this particular engagement would be that somehow you are able to integrate technology in whatever venture you are pursuing, right? So if you're building games, if you're into consumer goods, food, how you can integrate technology, if not within the product, then maybe in the business model itself, or the way you plan to deliver the goods, how you can add more value through tech integration within whatever you are doing is what we would ideally want as the outcome of the entire engagement that TETR has with IIT Delhi. So I'll quickly take you through the presentation because we are very less on time right now. Then we have a tour planned for you of the entire facility, and then we'll come back for the 11 a.m. session. So we are a tech commercialization body of IIT Delhi by the name of Foundation for Innovation and Tech Transfer. We were set up in the year 1992, and this has been our journey throughout. So this particular facility which you are seeing right now, where we are conducting all the sessions, has been set up in 2021. So government of India plays a very pivotal role in promoting entrepreneurship and innovation in the Indian ecosystem. um, there are various ministries which support startups, innovators, and incubators to promote the startup ecosystem. So, Department of Science and Technology is one of the front runners when it comes to technology-based entrepreneurship, and they had funded this entire facility to promote startups. So, there are around 70 to 80 startups which are housed within this facility. The most largest, I would say, portfolio which of companies which we have in the incubator would be around defense tech or health tech, right? So we have BIRAC supported BioNest facility where you can develop medical devices, you can develop different kinds of drugs uh, within this facility, and also test them if they are ready for use in market. We have an M Pragati lab, which is basically a prototyping lab for IoT based devices and products and prototypes. You'll be able to see all of that. So, this is a brief overview of the ecosystem in India. We have now more than 175,000 startups registered with Government of India in the country. We have more than 1,000 incubators now across the country, which are supporting startups in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities. There are more than 100 funding programs which ranges from 100,000 rupees to around 5 cr worth of rupees, and these support at different stages of entrepreneurship, which I'll show in the consecutive slides. There are more than 10,000 investor groups. We as an incubator are also investing in startups. I'll come to that also. And how we can work with you in future is something which is quite interesting for us also. So India is now emerging as a mature startup ecosystem in the world. We have already surpassed a lot of countries who had been in the ecosystem for more than since we had started to emerge. The major boom in startup ecosystem had come from 2012 onwards with the inception of Startup India. So, how many of you know about Startup India? Okay, so basically, in India, there are traditional enterprises which have been in the ecosystem for a very long time, but there was a chain of IT companies which emerged out in the early 2000s, the likes of Wipro, HCL, TCS, which are now tech giants in the country. And post their emergence, we have seen a growth of D2C based aggregator platforms like Zomato, right? Who have come out of the Indian startup ecosystem, and to support them, Government of India initiated a separate department altogether, which is Startup India chapter. It also goes by the name of DPIIT. So they basically provide a certificate to any enterprise to validate that they are registered as a startup in the country. So they are playing a major role in devising policies around the startup ecosystem. The grants which are coming out of Government of India are also developed by Startup India chapter. So this is a brief overview of the kind of impact that has been generated by IIT Delhi's incubation center. We have created more than 5,000 jobs through our startups. So incubators usually play a role at a very early stage of a venture, where we look at providing support from the ideation stage itself, and we believe that once a startup achieves their GTM phase, we have already played a pivotal role, because most of the startups which are coming out of this incubator are technology driven enterprises, right? So more than 10 startups have now globalized. We have our startups have raised 24 million USD from our own resources, which are both grant based and as well as equity based investments. And these investments have further had a rolled over effect of 60 million USD. Uh, Another major role which the incubator plays here is that of filing IPs for the startups as well as the professors and students of the institute. We also play a major role in uh, conducting tech transfer from startups to professors and back from institute to startups. So we play a role in that tech exchange as well. So these are the major stakeholders we work very closely with when it comes to government. So you'll see startups here in the facility which are from robotics, IoT based products, startups who are working in basic trade based applications. We have startups who are from the defense sector. We have startups from Ministry of Electronics and IT being supported by us. These are the various incubation units which you will see. So we have a center of excellence of by DST within this facility where we support science based startups, mostly IoT based startups. Then we have another center in Sonipat, which is around 2 hours from here. We have another campus where our Atal Incubation Center is also based out of. And we have most of the sports tech and agri based startups working from that facility. Then we have the Bionest facility, which you will visit today, which houses the biotech based, medtech based startups. This is the facility where we are right now, which is funded by Department of Science and Technology. So, like I mentioned, that incubator plays a pivotal role when a startup has an idea and they want to work on it. Mostly, we support startups which have a tech-based foundation where we can add value. From ideation stage, there are different kinds of supports which are available with us through the funding and through the mentor pool which we have, the expertise of the professors within the institute, the PhD students who are conducting their research. They work closely with these startups. From their ideation, whatever funding is required through different grants and schemes, we leverage those fundings for the founders at the ideation stage. Then we move to the product development stage. All these grants and equity based fundings vary from different ticket size to different ticket size based on the kind of product you are developing. And till uh, early market traction, we have different grants and schemes which we leverage to support the startups working with us. Yeah. So I primarily head the accelerator for the incubation center, which is basically that if we are incubating, let's say 50 companies in a year, then we create a pipeline of 10 to 15 startups where we feel that we are confident in putting our own money, and we work with them for a period of 6 months. We analyze them and see how market is reacting to the kind of product and services they are offering, and based on that we put in our own money. There are different VCs and AIFs who pull in money and syndicate with us to support those ventures. And once we have invested our money, we close the accelerator program for those companies. So around 30 to 50 companies every year we support through the accelerator which I run. Right. So these are the different sectors where most of the startups are based out of. So you'll see a lot of healthcare, defense-based startups, clean mobility-based startups, textile-based startups, and there are few space tech startups also. One quantum technology startup you'll meet today. Uh, so how many of you know about this particular company? Yeah. Would you like to talk about what they do? Yeah. So they are one of the largest drone show companies which has come out of the institute. Uh, the founder will also interact with you in the consecutive sessions in in the coming days, right? So they were not primarily a drone show company. They were into robotics when they met us, but I think 2 3 years back when we were planning our Republic Day retreat, there was a requirement from Ministry of Defense that if there could be an indigenous company which could conduct the drone show for that particular parade, and that is when the inception of having an indigenous drone show company started with IIT Delhi alumni, and Dr. Sarita Elawat is the founder of this company. I think they are now the second largest company when it comes to drone shows. This is another cybersecurity company. You'll interact with the founder, Professor Manan Suri. It's a professor-driven company. They are creating cybersecurity solutions, and they'll talk about how you can integrate cybersecurity into your D2C ventures also. Then Vecmocon Technology is another successful venture now valued at around 200 CR. They are providing different kinds of services in the EV sector. Rig Nanosystems is another company which is into healthcare. They have also commercialized their tech. Now they are raising funding for their pre-series A round. Fruitech is an agri-tech based company which is increasing shelf life of fruits and vegetables without use or consumption of energy. McPhee is another company which we have supported, which is into cold chain logistics and thermal insulation services. So these are all patent based companies, highly defensible patents they have filed through us. So through all the different kinds of initiatives, we support these startups. We have a student e-cell also, entrepreneurship cell, which works very closely with the incubator. They talk to the student community here, people like you who are within the institute who want to create their own venture, and they connect them with the incubator and other bodies within the incubator. So now I think we are ready for the tour, right? So I think we can go for the tour now. So Dr. Prachi will lead all of you for the tour and give you an idea about all the labs which we have in the facility and couple of startups, and what kind of support you can leverage from these labs as well in the future maybe. Over to you. Yeah, please.
So, hi everyone. As we are moving forward to the tour, I request the people who are sitting on this side of the auditorium can follow this way, and we have Nishant who will guide you towards the fourth floor, and this side of auditorium can move towards third floor. We have divided it to two batches, so you can move accordingly. Maybe first this round of row can start. Yeah, you can leave your bag. हेलो 40 बच्चे आ रहे हैं ऑलमोस्ट शिवानी का हेल्प लगेगा ठीक है ना मैनेज ना या
Shivani ke sath?
हाँ शिवानी
Please follow Shivani. We
शिवानी
have our team member in the left corner of the hall.
Good morning. Better. So should we start or we wait for some more minutes? We wait. Okay. We'll give one more minute. One minute. So meanwhile, everybody joins. Who are from the science background here? Okay. Who are from the mathematics background? Okay. Who are from the Europe? Europe, Africa, Asia, India. Okay, great. So we have a mix of all people from different part of the countries, I believe. How is the water quality of your country where you come from? Drinking water I'm talking about. Who says good? Best? Which country? Greece. Who has a problem with the water? Challenge in water quality. Which country you are from? Vietnam. Any African countries? How is the water quality there? Good. Which country you are? So we have mix of that as well. So I believe everybody is here. So should we start?
आपका ऑडियो थोड़ा क्लियर नहीं आ रहा है बिकॉज ऑफ दिस माइक आई थिंक इफ यू टेक द पोडियम वाला माइक दैट साउंड्स बेटर टू द स्टूडेंट्स एट द बैक
But I have to keep moving. So.
थोड़ा डिस्टर्बेंस आ रहा है
So guys, good morning. Again, my name is Rajesh and my startup name is Quix Private Limited. You can't. Can you hear me now? Is it better? Okay. So my name is Rajesh and my startup's name is Quix Private Limited. Thank you very much for coming to our campus and I'm very happy and
And the primary reason, if you see, it is not just the developing countries which are affected by the water quality. I was in Germany and Europe as a group has a better water quality compared to any continent. But in Germany, we tested 90 cities, and two-thirds of the samples were not meeting the EC standards. So again, I'll just give an example. I am sure that different countries will have different strategy. So what I'm trying to emphasize is that it is not India or any developing country has the problem, or any rural area has a problem. Entire globe is having the problem. The solution has to be also in a large scale. Now I have 2 glasses of water. Can you tell me which is safe to drink to water? A or B? You don't know. You don't know. Exactly. Most of the 90% of the population who drinks water, they judge by looking at the water and they drink. That's the biggest challenge. That is where we thought there should be a solution which should help and enable the stakeholders, not just the government or the development agencies or enterprises, but also the last mile people who test the water, not just looking at it, but scientifically they should know that. So if you see statistically the conventional way of water quality testing across the globe, I'm just putting in 2 brackets, there could be many, many more, has been the laboratories which are basically centralized, where you can send the samples, the water get tested, you have a technical expert required to do that, and then there are a lot of manual test kits which have been sent to the field where the testing can happen. If you see the laboratories, the challenge there basically stands is that it is very high capex required to set up a lab. You need trained technicians to do that. So it is again not a scalable solution. If you talk about these meters or these manual kits, the challenge there basically is that it is conventional. It's convenient to take it to different places, but the challenge there is basically the reliability. As per the recent report, 37% of the results are being said wrong in this. So basically, it's again not solving the problem. So we thought there should be a solution which should be between both of that. It should give a reliable result like a laboratory, but at the same time it should be affordable, reliable like the kits, so that it can go to a Mars scale location. In India, if you talk about, we have got 6.5 lakh villages, which are the last mile units over there. Obviously, the laboratories cannot go to all 6.5 lakh villages. So we are working with the government to get these kits. These are basically mini lab basically. I hope you have seen when you visited my lab. These kits basically are being used by the villagers or the last mile of the community to test the water on their own. Now, we test the critical parameters of water. Now, WHO says there are multiple parameters, but out of that, 13 critical parameters are there which are mandatory to test for drinking or assessing the safe water point of view. We do FRC, potential of hydrogen, most of the physical, chemical parameters which are very much important on that part. If you see from a competitive landscape, what the traditional companies like Hatch, Hannah, or Lollybond, I'm not sure if you've heard of these companies, but they have been primarily targeting only the scientific communities to test the water, and they're very costly as well. What we brought basically is that we thought that technology should reach to the last mile. And what we are promoting is basically decentralized water quality testing, which means that the people does not need to be dependent on the government or any agency to come and test water. The community itself can test the water. I'm happy to share with you, in India, we have deployed 200 such devices in different villages and cities, and there is no dependency on the government or any external agency. The village or the city itself, the people itself are testing the water, and this is an IoT device. So what happens is that every time the test takes place, on a real-time basis, the test result with the geolocation is transmitted to a central dashboard, so that the community can take the better understanding of that. So what we have solved basically is that the community is testing on its own. They know what is happening on the water. They can take the corrective measure, and at the same time, the stakeholders like government or the development agencies who are responsible for water quality, they also get the test results on a real-time basis. These are a couple of programs which we did. As I mentioned, we developed this project, not only for the government officials, but the end users. So we went to the villages, we gave this device to the end users and the women in the villages who were previously not testing the water. In some cases, they're testing with manual test kits. Now they are using these devices. So what also happens is that the woman empowerment happens over there. Traditionally, these women were testing with these chemicals and all of that. Now what they're doing is that they're using these devices, and now they feel more empowered as well. In some locations, this also helps in employment generation as well. Similar project, we went to the eastern part of India called Assam is a state. There we went to 11 villages and we deployed these devices as well on that part. Our work has been appreciated both at the Indian level and also recently in Vienna. Is anybody from Austria? Okay, so I was in Vienna. There was a Vienna Up event, which is a global event, an annual startup event there. We also got an award for innovation for planet in a category where 900 different applications came from globally. Now, talking about that, and any startup, the most important thing is the team. You can't run a startup with one idea or one person. There has to be a team of who comes from different diverse backgrounds. So we have a balanced team where we are working with technology, we work on the R&D, we work on the embedded systems, and obviously the most important, the sales and marketing as well. And if you see up close, what we developed over the last 2 years is a very strong core team. And also we have great advisors. Being at IIT, the best part is that you get a lot of support from the IIT professors. So we are being supported by Dr. Tapan K. Gandhi, who is a professor at IIT Delhi Electrical Department, who guides us on AI and machine learning, and also Dr. Asim Bhatnagar, who is a very expert on toxicology. He is a PhD in toxicology and he was a director at DRDO as well. Now, where are we working right now? So we work on different types of customers. We work with the government, we work with the industries, we work with the development agencies, we work with the commercial establishments. In last 2 years, as I mentioned, we deployed 200 devices in different